Do you have a litter of baby rabbits that are getting a couple weeks old and they're starting to venture outside of the nest box back in it? You're wondering, when should I remove the nest box? That's what I'm going to talk about in today's video and get it all cleared up for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Redneck video. Again, my name is Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. Today's video we're talking about nest boxes, baby rabbits. When is a good time to remove the nest box from the cage, give them a little bit more room to roam around? It's actually a pretty easy answer. You're really going to kind of rely on your rabbits to tell you when is a good time to remove that nest box from them. Let me go and run through, I've got a couple of, these are a little over 3-week-old baby bunnies here behind me. We'll show them off here in just a minute. But kind of run through the process of them growing up. You know, when they get to be about 2 weeks old, usually 10 to 14 days old, somewhere right around in there, they're going to start venturing out of the nest box a little bit. You might find, you might come out and you find 1 or 2 of them outside of the nest box on the cage floor. And what I usually do at that point, the first couple of times I find them, is I pick them back up, I put them back in the nest box because it's hard for them to get back in the nest box usually. That usually goes on for a couple of days. And then, you know, a couple of days after that, they're going to start getting out of the nest box, back in the nest box, out of the nest box, back in the nest box. So really by about 3 weeks old, most of the time, they're spending most of their time outside of the nest box. And at that point, it's okay to go ahead and remove the nest box from the cage itself. Generally speaking, what happens is you'll come out, you'll check on them. You'll see that one day they're in the nest box, maybe 1 or 2 of them are out of the nest box. You come out the next day, you check on them a couple of times, and it varies. Maybe 2 of them out of the nest box, the rest of them in the nest box, maybe all of them out of the nest box at one time and then back in it. And then you come out the next day and they're all out of the nest box. And then you come out the next day, they're still out of the nest box. So that's really kind of the timing that tells me that, okay, it's good to go ahead and remove the nest box from there. They're not using it anymore. And usually that's right around 3 weeks. It varies a little bit with each litter, but right around 3 weeks old is about usually the time to go ahead and remove the nest box. If it's really, really cold out, might leave it just a little bit longer just in case. But most of the time, they're not going to use the nest box after about 3 weeks old. They're out of it. They're fine to just roam around the cage and hang out with mom. Now, some people will take their nest box. Let me grab mine here. I'll show it off a little bit. Mine's an all-wire nest box. What some people will do is take their nest box and lay it on the side. So what that does is that gives the mother a place to get up on top of the nest box and get away from the babies. If she feels like, you know, they're pestering her too much, she needs a break from them, she can jump up on top of it and get away from them. You know, that's a perfectly good practice if you want to do that. I don't typically find that that's necessary. My rabbits, my does, seem to be very content hanging out with their babies. Right now she's a little freaked out because I'm standing here in front of the cage talking, so they're all huddled back here in the corner. But most of the time when I come back, she's just laid out and all the babies are just kind of laying out around her. She's very content with them. So usually I don't find that that's necessary. She doesn't seem to be too pestered with the rabbit or with the babies. But you know, that's a practice that you can do after about 3 weeks when they're out of the nest box all the time. Just tilt it on its side, leave it in there, give her a place she can get up on and get away from her babies. I've tested that out. Most of my does don't really utilize it, and it just takes up so much extra cage space. I like to just give them the extra room to kind of roam around. So let me bring you in close. We'll show you the babies, see if they'll calm down here for a minute and get a good view of them. All right, like I said, they're a little freaked out right now because I'm standing up here talking at the front of the cage and kind of pestering them. We've got one little brave soul right here at the front, though. Let's see if he'll come out and say hi. Hey there, buddy. My wife likes to come out and handle them a little bit. So the babies are a little bit more acclimated to being handled than mom. Mom's a little bit of a spaz. She doesn't really like it too much, but the babies are they're pretty mellow. They're pretty mellow. Oh, calm down. She's kind of lunging at me a little bit. Oh, there we go, there we go. So there is a baby, about a 3-week-old baby bunny. He's pretty calm. I can feel his heart beating, but he's not too freaked out by this right now. So they grow incredibly fast, that's for sure. There you go. There you go. Now he doesn't want to go back to his mom. He wants to just hang out here at the front of the cage. So I got 8 little baby bunnies back there all piled up in a corner, kind of trying to stay away from me. But we'll give them a break. We'll not pester them too much today. Leave them alone. Well, hopefully that answers that question for you. Put your mind at ease. Like I said, it's usually pretty easy to determine. Just watch your rabbits and you'll know whenever they stop using the nest box very much, it's okay to go ahead and just remove it from the cage at that point. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, God bless.